Today we're going to talk about causes and effects, and we're going to focus on finding examples of our causes and effects, as well as solutions to our problems. If you remember from the last video, we watched about the causes and effects of a big problem these days, which is climate change. And as we watched the video, we identified different causes and different effects of this problem. Now, when we are looking at causes and effects, something which is very helpful to help us to organize our ideas is what we call a causes and effects chart. Now, in a causes and effects chart, we have the problem here in yellow, and then we have all of the different causes which feed into the problem, and then all of the effects which are caused by our problem. So a causes and effects chart helps us to organize our ideas. So for example, going back to that video about climate change, we can see here that here is our problem, climate change, and then I was able to identify 3 main causes of climate change from the video, and then some different secondary causes. And we can see here that when we look at the causes, they are very much interconnected. So burning fossil fuels, we can see, causes pollution, which in turn causes climate change. But burning fossil fuels is also linked with overpopulation. And of course, overpopulation is connected with pollution. And it's the same with temperature increase. It's caused by increased levels of carbon dioxide, but it's also caused by other greenhouse gases. And of course, increased carbon dioxide is itself caused by pollution. So we can see that as we're putting these causes into the chart, they are very much interconnected with one another. So next I looked at effects, and again I was able to identify 3 main effects, and then in turn some secondary effects. And in the same way, these effects are very much interconnected with one another. So now that we have our causes and effects chart written up, it's now time to identify some examples of our causes and effects, as well as solutions. If you remember in your report, you will need to write about the causes and effects. And as you're writing about the causes and effects, something which will help you to support your arguments will be finding examples. So I found some examples for the effects of our problem, climate change. And although there were no examples on the video, I did a quick search online. And I also remembered that this year has been a huge year for fires. There have been 2 major fires, one in Australia, one in the United States, and these fires have killed people and they've destroyed ecosystems and they've cost a lot of money too. And people say, scientists say, that these fires to a large degree were caused by extreme weather, which itself is an effect of climate change. So this is an example of an effect of climate change. Another example which I found was, again, online, and it was an article where scientists were saying that a 2-degree increase in global temperature will lead to a 2.5 meter rise in sea level. And this in turn will have a big effect on coastal cities and regions. So again, this is an example of an effect of climate change. Next, I had a look at some solutions to the problem. And on the video, there were 2 very good solutions which were talked about. So they suggested that instead of using fossil fuels, we should be using renewable energy, for example, wind and solar. Another example of a solution which I found online was this one. So I found an article which said the best solution to climate change is to vote for political parties in your country which say that they are going to solve the climate crisis. Okay, so those are my examples and solutions. Now, remember, when you're searching for your own examples and solutions, you probably won't find them on a single video. You're going to need to search around online, look around, and try to find some sources which will provide either your solutions or your examples.